All right, guys, this video is going to be quite a long one. I am going to break it up into two parts. So we will do the first 4 Ps and then we will do the final 3 Ps in a different video. All right. So this one is called the 7 Ps of marketing, part 1. So the 7 Ps of marketing include product, price, place, promotion, people, physical evidence, and process. I would highly recommend pausing the video here and writing each of these definitions down so that you know exactly what you are needing to write. Okay, so product is a good or service that is offered to customers to satisfy a need or want. Price is the amount that a customer pays for a good or service. Place relates to how a business distributes the product to customers. Promotion is marketing communications used by a business to inform, promote, and remind its target market about its product. People is the individuals that influence a customer's perception of a business and its products. And physical evidence is the environments in which the business and customers interact. And the final one is process. We sort of already know this one, but it's the procedures set in place throughout an entire customer purchase. Why are they important? So the 7 Ps of marketing is a marketing model that businesses can use to satisfy the needs of their target market. The marketing mix enables a business to effectively produce and deliver products to target customers and generate customer value. A business can deliver long-term customer value and achieve its overall objectives by continuously assessing the marketing mix. So what this is effectively saying is by combining a range of these, it allows the business to target their customer base as best as they possibly can. All right, the first one, product, which is the end result of the production process, either a good or service. All right, so this is one of the exam questions, I believe. The nature of products, tangible or intangible. All right, the easiest way to remember this is that an intangible product cannot be touched, right? So a haircut or car service, for example, you can't actually touch the haircut, right? You can touch the hair, but the haircut itself you can't touch. Tangible products, however, are anything that can be physically touched. Okay, so the laptop you're watching this on, the keys you use to open your lockers up at school, any food, books, whatever. All right. In terms of considerations of products, a business needs to consider the branding of the product, so the name, the design, the logo of the business itself, as well as the product itself. The design involves a business creating and developing a product that has the appropriate features and function to fulfill its intended purpose. So the aim of design is to provide a high quality product where the features are able to fulfill the needs and wants of customers. All right. Remember, we are always looking back to fulfilling the needs and wants of our customers. Quality is the degree to which the product fulfills its purpose without any defects or inefficiencies. We obviously want to meet our customers' expectations, to increase their satisfaction levels. And if we do have a lot of faulty or poorly made products, that can have a serious impact on our reputation as a business. The positioning. So positioning involves a business establishing the image of a product or business and the needs it fulfills, including its specific features and benefits compared.
Take fresh water. If you're in the school, could you report to the senior school office, please? Take fresh water to the senior school office.
Compared to competitors, for example, a fashion brand may choose to present its clothing as a high-end product, or potentially if you're at Kmart, they're not really too fussed with that. All right. In terms of packaging, packaging involves designing what the product will be presented in. Packaging should be designed so that it includes elements of the brand's name or logo. Okay, so very rarely would you see a product that didn't have either the name or logo of the business, at the very minimum, if not both. All right. How do we actually develop a product? So we need to consider the changing needs of consumers and how they must be met by ensuring that the changing needs of consumers are adapted to by keeping products up to date, bringing out new and innovative products. The 5 stages involved in product development, so the actual idea itself, so that could be from staff, from customers, market research, your innovators. However, the idea screening, the second step is feedback on potential new products or services. So is it actually even worth our time to produce these? The idea evaluation, so testing of the concept to the market. That is obviously, again, just going that extra step to determine whether or not it's actually worth us mass producing this and getting it out to the market. Developing the product, so produce and market test the product and make any last alterations. That's to ensure that it is the best quality and the best possible product that we can actually be putting out to our customers. And then the last one, commercialization, is actually putting it out into the market for all of the customer base to be able to purchase. Other key factors that we need to consider, so the product positionings, development of product image, the product brand. So quite a few of you, when you were asked about brand, you spoke about these things. That is, of course, true. So having a brand name, term, symbol, design, logo, whatever, obviously is super, super important to a business's success. However, it is part of the branding, okay? It is not the be-all and end-all. And then the packaging, so involving the development of a container and graphic design for the product, and making sure that the packaging, if possible, can be environmentally friendly or socially acceptable. All right, the next one, price, the amount for which something is sold. So the impact the price has is that it will obviously have a direct impact on the revenue and profit that a business can potentially make. The managers and owners need to select product prices that are attractive to customers to draw sales, but if the price is too high, they may choose to go to competitors who are selling it at a lower price. But if it is too low, the product may be perceived as poor quality, and that can also be a major turn-off for customers. Okay, so the strategies that we use. So we need to be considering how much it's actually costing us to produce this product, okay? Considering the raw materials, the technology involved, the staff involved. So thinking back to your material strategy, or your definition of materials. So you've got your raw, your labor, and your component parts. The price of competing products. So again, if we're producing a product and it's costing us $100, but down the road there's a shop that is selling a product for a much lower price, but it is super similar to yours, then you will need to be addressing that. And looking at the stage of product life cycle. So that is talking about, is this going to be the most amount of sales we are ever going to have? So can we increase the price, or is it starting to decline anyway? Do we need to start considering lowering the price to get it back up to a high level of sales? There are a range of pricing strategies that need to be considered. So cost plus pricing, competition-based pricing, penetration pricing, and price skimming. Just note, though, that governments regulate the pricing of essential items to ensure that they don't exceed an allocated amount. So if you are going with your businesses that you have already done in Unit 1, just be aware of whether or not your product is essential to determine whether or not the government would have a regulatory price point put on it. All right, so you've got your range of products there. So this table, if you want to just copy it from here, I have put it into individual slides just to make it a little bit easier to read. Okay, so cost plus pricing is the business determining a product's price by taking the unit cost and adding a percentage markup to determine the sale price. The main features of this is that it is most simple in comparison to other pricing strategies. It allows a business to determine their own markup cost to achieve their desired profit margin. Just to really talk about what you're saying, the unit cost of producing 1 unit of a particular good or service, and markup is the additional amount of percentage added to the cost, the unit cost of the product. You then have your advantages and disadvantages up here. So it's quite a simple strategy and easy to be adjusted when necessary. However, doesn't take into consideration the competitors' pricing and may lead businesses to reduce costs at the expense of product value. All right, the next one, competition-based pricing, pretty much is what it says. So you're setting a price similar, whether that's the same, slightly higher or slightly lower than your competitor's price. The feature of this is that the price may be set just above, below, or equal, like I just said, and can be used in industries with high levels of competition. Advantage is that it promotes a business's competitiveness if they are offering a product at a lower price. It is likely to generate sales as customers are already purchasing the product. Disadvantages, though, is that it can result in lower profits if competitors are able to sell at cheaper costs or if they are able to produce it at cheaper costs. And obviously you need to consider if their quality is better than yours, if they are more socially responsible than you, then what can you do to then consider your competition-based pricing. The penetration pricing promotes a business's competitiveness by offering competitive prices. So penetration pricing, a business sets a low price than competitors when entering the market. All right, so you're wanting to generate as many sales as you possibly can. The feature of this is it can be used for new products to quickly gain market share within an existing industry and can convince consumers of competing products to switch to the business's product. And there you've got your advantages, disadvantages, very, very similar to competitive pricing. So it can allow a business to gain market share, but may result in lower profits if production costs are high in comparison to your competitors. And setting lower prices than competing products may cause consumers to perceive the product as lower quality, which we did already look at in the last P product as well. All right, price skimming. It is when a business sets a high initial price when the product enters the market and then lowers the price over time. So this one, we are looking more at supply and demand. If there is a high demand for a product, you could obviously set the price higher if the supply is lower. So the feature of this is that it is generally used to recover any research and development costs incurred during production development. So that is also an advantage, provides a higher profit margin compared to other pricing strategies, increased need to compete on other variables such as product quality or features, and it may not be feasible in industries with high competition. So for example, if all of a sudden Coles brought out this $10 pasta that is very similar to the Woolworths $2 pasta. They're probably not going to have very much success in that regard. All right, so what we need to consider: the wholesale cost of materials, the cost of manufacturing, the cost to cover wages, whether or not the products that we need are seasonable. So can we get the product brought in year round, or is it really only available during certain months of the year? And then you've got your supply and demand. All right. Okay, the next one, place. So this one encompasses the distribution channels used to market products to customers, considers the accessibility from the customer's end, ensures the right quantity in the right location at the right time, and how it is actually placed within the store for visual appeal. All right, distribution channels. So these ones focus on how a business provides customers with access to the products. Businesses are going to use distribution channels to provide customers with access to their products. So what this means is the chain of intermediary businesses through which products travel through to reach the end consumer. Okay, so if I was to, for example, bake cookies and bring them in to school to sell them, then that would be me directly selling my products to customers, okay? But if I was to buy the cookies from Coles or Woolworths, bring them into school and then sell them, then you've got an extra distribution channel in there, okay? So, variety of ways, as I just said: a business selling directly to the consumer or using an intermediary to get the product from the manufacturer to the end consumer. So individuals or businesses that serve as a middleman in a distribution channel to get a product from the manufacturer to the end consumer. All right. Our main aim is getting the product to the end consumer. Without distribution channels, that's really, really difficult to achieve. You can use one or more of the potential distribution channels. All right. So here you've got the 3 key ones that we want you to learn. All right. So the first one, producer to consumer. Products are sold directly from the business to consumers. All right. The characteristics of these: a business has the highest degree of control over the distribution channel as there are no intermediaries. And typically, this is going to come from service businesses. All right. You're not going to be going through an intermediary in order to get a haircut, right? You're going to go straight to the hairdresser. Producer to retailer to customer. So a producer sells its products to a retailer who then sells the products to customers. Typically used for perishable products with a short shelf life, such as fruit and veggies. So you just think farmer to fruit shop to customer. Yeah. So it's a business pretty much selling to another business who then sells it to a customer. And then the last one, producer to wholesaler to retailer to customer. A producer sells large quantities of a product to a wholesaler who then sells the products to retailers where customers can purchase them. And these ones are typically used for consumer goods such as clothing or computers. All right. Just think any major shopping chain, pretty much. All right, so your keywords in there, you've got producer, which is a business or individual that actually creates and then supplies the goods and services. Your wholesaler, so the business that's selling products in large quantities at a lower price, so it's not at retail cost. And then you've got the retailer, so the business that sells products to the public for personal consumption. And then you can see here, you sort of 3 different strands. So producer to consumer, producer to retailer to consumer, producer to wholesale to retailer to consumer. All right, and then the last one for this video we're going to look at is promotion. The use of advertising, branding, sales promotion, and public relations to inform. All right, so promotion focuses on informing current and potential customers about a business's product. It aims to clearly communicate features and benefits of the product and consider how it will satisfy customer needs. A business should, and I would say that you will need to do this in your SAC, but a business is going to need to establish promotional objectives. They need to create and maintain a strong brand image, inform consumers about the features and capabilities of the new product, remind consumers about existing product, persuade consumers to purchase their product instead of the competitors, and to change customer behavior and generate brand loyalty. So the tendency of customers to continuously purchase one brand's product over another. The promotional mix is a set of promotional strategies used by a business to promote its products, and this is going to base which strategy will be used in order to meet the marketing objectives. Okay, so you set your promotional objectives, you then go to your promotional mix and work out which one is going to help you to achieve the promotional objectives. All right, so we've got 5 here, and again, you can just write it directly from this table, but I am going to go through it this way. So advertising is creating a message to publicly promote a business's products. It can be conducted through platforms such as TV, newspapers, radio, social media, and the internet. The advantages of this is it can easily reach a broad audience. So if you are using an online website, this is definitely one you would want to be considering. Can successfully be used to promote products to the business's target market. On the flip side, it can increase marketing expenses because advertising is definitely not free. And if the message is not compelling, consumers may disregard it and the product itself. Forms of advertising: newspapers, TV ads, radio, magazines, internet, social media platform, direct mail, outdoor advertising, yellow pages. Yellow pages is obviously a dying one because so few people get the yellow pages now, but it definitely is one to consider. Sales promotion is providing customers with short-term incentives to promote a trial or use of the product. It can include price reductions, free samples, demonstrations, or buy one, get one free deals. So often you will see this end of financial year sales is probably the most recent one. We'll have the Black Friday sales coming up in, I think it's November. And then, of course, you've got your Boxing Day sales where a lot of this does happen as well. So this, in basic terms, is the use of incentives to encourage increased sales. Incentives to purchase may be immediate, buy one, get one free, spend and save, free gift, or it could be delayed, right? So you've got to work your way up to it. Buy 10 coffees, get the 11th one free. Spend $200, get $10 off your next purchase. All right, your next one, direct marketing. So you are selling products straight to the public. This can include physical mail outs, telemarketing, and door-to-door sales. This one can be effective, but it is probably more challenging and more expensive in order to achieve that. Customer loyalty is a big pro to go with direct marketing because you do have that face-to-face communication to really build up that relationship and get customers to actually purchase the products. The disadvantage, though, is that customers may perceive direct marketing techniques as an invasion of privacy. I know if I get telemarketer calls, I very rarely stay on long enough for them to actually sell me anything. And you cannot reach an audience quickly. Yeah, a wide audience. It's just not possible to reach a really broad target market. So the use of marketing tools that is actually going to be seen by the target market: direct mail, catalogs, mail outs, phone calls, personal visits, emails, and telemarketing. All right, and then this one, personal selling involves a sales representative meeting a customer in person and selling the business's product, typically used for products with high prices or products with complex features. So you've got cars, software programs. Some of you may be considering looking at the cars or programs, cars now, starting to have a look to see for next year. You would get a sales representative, personal selling when you go to car dealerships, and they are very persuasive, but you've got to remember that the figure is always much higher at the beginning and you negotiate down. The sales representatives can be highly persuasive, have an extensive knowledge about the product, can gain insight into the customer's interest through body language. The money may need to be spent training sales staff though. And again, they're not going to be able to persuade a wide audience very quickly. So this product is sold by a salesperson who is often trained, very expensive operating factor, and needs to be someone who customers actually trust for accurate and honest information. A lot of people do say that car salesmen or real estate agents are super slimy, and not always trustworthy. And that's, of course, not always the case by any means. But it is something to consider that they are also earning additional money for themselves, hence why they do need to be super persuasive. All right, then you've got your public relations, final one. So communicating an intended message and building strong relationships with stakeholders. Public relations include strategies which improve public perception of the business and its products. So this one can be used to build a positive brand image. It has a low cost because most forms of publicity are free. However, they may risk facing negative publicity, and it may be difficult to actually control the publicity once it's out there. So publicity is a free form of mass communication with the aim of attracting favorable attention to a business. In order to do this, they will put out press releases, product launches, special events. Lobbying, sponsorships is always a really, really popular one. A lot of my year 11s last year used sponsorships as a form of publicity in their SACs, because it's an easy way of targeting a really large customer base. Another one to consider, internet marketing, increasingly important in today's business as many customers enjoy browsing online prior to physically going into a store. It's important to remember to have a simple domain name. Think back to this SAC that we've just recently done. Online promotional potential. How will it gain customers? How will it be advertised? What platform? And are you going to get referrals using links to other websites? And that is all for that first video, guys. I will see you in the next one.